When I started my YouTube channel, I thought the key to growth was simple: upload as many videos per week as I possibly could, and the views will come in time. After about 400 subscribers, a little over, 40 some thousand watch hours on my channel, hundreds of hours of editing videos, and more mistakes than I can count, I realized one thing, and I learned the hard way: it's not that simple. In this video, I'm going to break down some things for you. I'm going to tell you some things that I wish I had known when I started my YouTube channel. But this far in, 9 months almost, I'm not about to start over, and I wouldn't suggest that you do either. But I'm going to try to help you avoid some of these mistakes that I made, and I'm going to try my best to give you an honest way to grow your YouTube channel. Now, you may look at my channel and say, well, how come your channel hasn't grown the way it should have if you know these things? Because it took me this long. It took me 9 months to learn a lot of these things. And I'm going to try to give you this stuff right off the bat. So if you haven't started your YouTube channel yet and you're just debating to start it, I'm going to give you these ideas for free, no cost. You don't have to click any links or any of that stuff. I'm not trying to sell you an ebook or a guide how to do this. I'm simply giving you this advice for free, things that I wish I had known. So there's so much missing information out there on YouTube and other social media platforms telling you how to do this. Some of that information can be true, some of it not so much. I'm going to give you my perspective and what I wish I had known if I would start my YouTube channel today. So stick around if you want true, honest feedback on how to improve your channel. Okay, so first up, one of the main things about your YouTube career is going to be your audio. And I don't think enough people talk about this. If you can see right here, and I reviewed this product couple of 3 or 4 weeks ago. I can tell you right now, you go back and watch my videos before I got this mic and you listen to the audio, my narration, and even my own screen audio as I'm doing now. And you tell me the difference in the audio quality. That's what I'm talking about, the quality of your audio. Now, I'm not saying you have to rush out and buy, a $400 or $500 mic set. This one costs a little over $100, and I think it's well worth it. And I've only had it for about a month now, and I absolutely love it. I can walk really far away from the camera, and you can still hear my voice just like I was right there on the camera. So what did I use before? Well, I used my own built-in microphone on my iPhone Pro. That's what I was using before. You'll have to excuse me. I've got a sore, itchy throat today. But that's what I used before. It got the job done, barely. And I know in my videos, my quality suffered for that. And by suffering, that led to not as many subscribers as I should have had, not as many watch time hours as I should have. Now, if your audio is good, that's a big first step. Now, I would say audio is more important than video and your graphics. If people can't hear what you're trying to say or what you're trying to convey, they're going to click off. They're not going to watch. I don't care how good your quality of video is. If audio's not there, excuse me. I don't care how good your video is. If audio is not there, they're going to click away. Audio is very important. I even had one person tell me, he said, "You're exactly right." He said, I base every bit of my watch time on YouTube, I base on audio. If I click on a video and the audio is bad, I instantly click off of it. He said, "I don't care how good the content is." That should tell you everything you know. That's a true story, and someone actually truly told me that. So, if you have to get a wired lapel mic, that's fine. If you have to get a $30 desktop mic, that's fine. Whatever you get, the only thing I would suggest is do a review, look it up, research it, And if you find one that's decent for your budget, then buy it. Whatever you do, make sure your audio is clear and good quality. And I'll link the one I have in the description if you want to go check it out. I'm not suggesting you buy it. I love it. You can see my review on it. If you go to my page, you'll see that review. And I do make a small commission, and I mean small. It's just a few cents. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And anything I link on my videos, anything I link, if it comes to Amazon, I do get a little commission. Anywhere else, I don't. I'll simply link it for your benefit. It helps me so minute. I mean, on $100 sale, I may make 30 cents. So I'm just putting it out there, let you know. I don't make hardly anything. So anyway, get a good quality mic if you can afford it. If you can't, get a wired mic. Anything is better than built-in mics. I can promise you that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is if you're just starting your channel, or if you're a new creator like me, you're on that climb, I would suggest that you don't worry about if you're not comfortable being on camera like I am now with showing my face and everything. If you're not comfortable with that, because I know I'm still not, and I wasn't, especially at the beginning. If you're not, that's okay. Do off-camera narration. If you go back and watch some of my videos, especially the mystery stuff I did, you'll see that I wasn't on the camera at all. I recorded my voice, okay? And that's okay. As long as you're creating content, that's what matters, and as long as your audio is good. Your video and your effects and all that, it's secondary to your audio and to you getting content. If you don't put something out, nobody has a possibility of watching it. Put something out. So if that's what's holding you back, a fear of being on camera, I can't be in front of a crowd, I can't talk in front of people, that's okay. I'm that way. A lot of people are that way. Just do it. Just be off camera and record your voice and put your graphics in. That's okay. That's perfectly allowed. And you can go on YouTube right now and you can search and you'll see many, many, many channels that are doing great. And the narrator is not even on screen. Okay. So don't worry about it. Put your ideas out there. Okay. Don't let that stop you. Your own screen performance, your own screen face doesn't matter if you're worried about being seen. That'll come later. You'll get more comfortable, and you'll be able to get on screen if you so choose. Now, you may hear, just so you know, you may hear some background noises back in the other rooms, and that's okay if you do. Disregard that. It's not a problem. The next thing I would suggest is, what are you doing? What kind of videos you want to make? So 9 months in, if you go back and look at my channel, I have done just about everything under the sun. I was once told by someone, a friend of mine, years ago when I was young, I was told, Wayne, you are a jack of all trades, but you're a master of none. And that was and even I will never forget that, because that is such a true statement toward me. I can do about everything. I'm not perfect at anything. So, you got people out there, electricians, they have license to do that. I have electrical training. I don't have a license to do that. You see my point? I installed heat pumps for years, and those videos are done great for me. But I don't install heat pumps anymore, and I'm not a heat pump pro. I'm not licensed to do that. So there's a much better people on YouTube doing those videos. That's my point. So I started out doing jet ski videos. I did 3 of those. Then I did a car repair video, brake video. And then I did some other things and this thing. And then I started doing some heat pump videos. And that one heat pump video I did, you can go back and watch it. It's got like 20-some thousand views now. It did really good for me. And honestly, the quality of it was awful. The audio was awful. Half the time you couldn't hear what I was saying. The video was quite shaky. But one thing I did was the content was valuable. That's what I'm getting into. It's okay for the first couple months to test the waters, try to find what you like to do. Now, 2 things you should remember here. I wish I had known this. I would give I would give about anything to know this. Pick something that you're good at, that you can do, not that I'm doing, not that the most famous person over here is doing. His videos are blowing up, so I'm going to do videos like he's doing. Pick what you can do, what you are good at, what you bring to the table. Why does your friends like you? Why does people in your family like you? That's what you do. And then you build your content based off what you know from there. So let's say you're a real estate agent, right? Then do content about real estate unless you hate doing real estate. If you hate that, then find something else that you're good at. My point is, it's okay to do one thing here and one thing there for a couple months on your channel and trying to find out what you really want to do. But after a couple months, you need to really start narrowing down and focusing down to what you want to do from then on in your channel. I did not do that, and it has dramatically affected my channel, not in a good way. I'm going to give you some examples of what I just said. My biggest bulk of my subscribers, and I can show you my analytics, and I may do that. I may put them here, over here, or up here somewhere, but I can show you that my biggest subscriber count has come from my heat pump videos. I don't do those anymore. And even now, I still get quite a few subscribers from my heat pump videos. I used to install them years ago when I was younger, and I do know a lot about them. I'm not a professional at it. I'm not even licensed at it. But if you watch those videos, you'll see that I gave some very, very good content in those. That's why people liked it. It wasn't because I was a good presenter. It wasn't because I'm good at speaking, because I'm not. I have a country accent. A lot of people are turned off by that. And yet those videos do pretty good. Simply because why? I had something that I personally could give to you and that you needed and was looking for. That's what I'm getting at. Find what you can offer the public, what you can give them and what they can gain from that. And the video and the views and the subscribers will come. But here's the thing. I switched from those, and now my subscriber growth has took a downturn. If you're watching my channel, you'll know that recently I switched to doing me versus AI stuff, right? I'm right now in the process of doing a series on my Miata build that I'm letting AI pick all the parts for. I'm doing other things with AI. And so that's just going to be for a short time. But, my point is, if you switch too much, the followers I got from my heat pump videos, they were not interested in my mystery videos. See, and the subscribers I gained from my mystery videos, they're not interested in my heat pump videos. So when they get a notification that, hey, Smith's Farm Shenanigans has a new video, they click on it and it's the instructions on how to work on your heat pump, but they subscribe to see mystery videos. What do you think they're going to do? They're probably going to unsubscribe, or at the minimum, skip over that video, right? So right now I'm in a plateau. My watch time hours, I'm almost monetized in that category. My subscriber count, I'm not even halfway there yet. I'm going to be at probably 10,000 watch hours before I ever get to 1,000 subscribers. That's probably what's going to happen. And I did some analytics on that, and I found out that that's kind of rare. It's not a bad thing. It's just some channels go through that. Most channels have a struggle to get the watch time hours, but they don't struggle to get the subscribers. I have. Why? Because I switched my niche too many times. I've got the hours, but my subscribers rose and fell, and you can see it. As I switch categories, that's what happens. So my advice to you is test the waters for the first month or two. That's fine. But you better start narrowing down what you really want to do on your channel. And I would even suggest to know what you want to do before you ever start your channel. However, if you've already started your channel like me, going forward, try to narrow that down. And if you must switch niches later on down the road, make sure your audience, you tell them, hey, look, and just let them know you're going to a new category and you would love for them to come with you. It should be entertaining and it should be fun. That's how you do it. Don't just abruptly change, tell no one. Okay. And I'm sorry I was on such a long rant on that one, but it's so important that you pick a niche. There's so much misinformation on YouTube about that. But there's some good information saying, hey, you do need to pick a niche. And they're right. You do. You need to pick it pretty early on. Okay. All right. So let's go into the next thing. When you hear all this advice, okay, how many times should I upload per week? Well, you hear some people say it doesn't matter. Some people say, 4 or 5. Some people say as many as you possibly can. I'm here to tell you 2 to 3 videos per week at the most. 1 to 2 range is perfect. 2 to 3 is, it's okay. It depends on what your niche is and how long those videos are. And what do I mean by that? 2 things. One is when you're doing, you can go back and look. After my first couple of months, I started getting some growth and it excited me. I'm like, okay, I'm really taking off because I had that one video and the heat pump video that really took off within the first maybe a month or so of me starting this channel. And it excited me. I'm like, oh, wow. So I started making as many videos as I could. I was doing 4 or 5 a week some weeks. And I noticed something. The quality, 2 things. One, the quality of my videos suffered. They weren't as good because I couldn't put as much time and focus on them. The editing wasn't as good. The audio wasn't as good. The video quality itself was not just as good, simply because I was trying to do too much. Number 2, that many videos, if I'm sitting here as a subscriber to your channel, Monday I get a notification you got a video. Tuesday I get another notification you put out another video. Wednesday I do that all week. I'm probably going to unsubscribe to you because a lot of people don't want to be bothered with 4 and 5 notifications to watch a video, and then they go watch the first one, it's 30 minutes, then the second one's 20 minutes. They have to spend 5 hours a week just watching your videos. Probably not going to happen unless you're somebody like Mr. Beast who's got a well-groomed audience that knows what he's going to do. They know what to expect. And so they'll stick around for that. But even if you watch, he doesn't do 5 or 6 videos a week. So do not do that. Do 2 to 3 videos at most per week. Focus on quality, not quantity. And I did that. It hurt my subscribers. My subscriber count went down simply because I was doing too many videos per week. And I noticed I started losing subscribers. And I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? These are the same. Then I went to my analytics and I figured it out. Got to be careful with that. 2 to 3 at most, no more. I don't care what anyone else tells you. Don't do it. And then that kind of segues into my next section. My next section is you hear all this information about use other platforms to feed traffic to your YouTube channel. That can be a good thing. However, if it takes you a substantial amount of time to do that, you're taking away from time you could be filming, editing, and posting and working on your YouTube channel. That's the big takeaway. If you can do it and you can manage it, because most of us, new creators, a lot of us have jobs already, full-time jobs. We have to do that. Then we have to do this channel. And then we also have what? We have family life. So you have to be able to balance every bit of that. My advice to you, because I started doing that on TikTok, I started posting some shorts taken from my videos. It actually helped my YouTube channel not at all. And I'm like, okay. And I was getting, 6, 7, 8, 900 videos or watches per short on TikTok. And yet it wasn't really feeding to my traffic on. And I even made shorts on YouTube. Stay away from shorts. I know people say it can help your channel. Remember, you're trying to build an audience. Your audience is built and they're framed and they're put in place specifically for you, right? So let's say that for the first 4 months of my YouTube channel, I did nothing but shorts. Wow, that take off. And I'm getting 50, 60, 100,000 views on my shorts. If you can do that and sustain that, that's fine. You can do good on that if you do shorts only. But the minute you start trying to do long form videos after doing shorts on your channel all the time, what do you think is going to happen? You have stepped outside of the box that you've created for your audience. That's what I'm getting at. They're used to seeing shorts from you, right? They want to see your shorts. They didn't sign up to see your long form content. I'm not saying they won't switch. Some may, but the biggest group of people will be like, I don't like that. That I didn't sign up to watch this person's 20-minute videos. I signed up to watch their 1-minute videos or their 2-minute videos. That's what I'm talking about. You got to know your audience. When you're doing this stuff and you're putting all these videos out every week and you're putting too many out, you're using all these other social media platforms, you got to be careful. You got to give your audience what they're looking for, what they signed up for. I didn't do that. I'm still trying to recover from that. That's my point. Okay, we'll go on to the next subject. There's another big topic. How long should my videos be? Some people say 10-minute videos. Some people say 10 to 15. Some people say 30. You see some videos on YouTube, an hour and a half, 2 hours long. My advice to you is this. Forget all the time frames. Don't worry about them. Just throw that out of your mind. Forget it. You get your thumbnail. You get your ideal first. What do I want to make a video about? I want to make it on how to grow an apple tree. Okay? So now that I know what my ideal is, I should be thinking of how can I make this thumbnail and title portray my interest to the audience? How can I do it? So you got to create a thumbnail that portrays interest in your subject matter. So they're going to look. When someone else sees your thumbnail, they're thinking, "Hey, that's pretty interesting." They click on it. So your title has to work with your thumbnail. Now you're ready to do your video. So what that means is you start filming. You film your video until you're finished. And whatever time you end up on, that's what you post, right? You don't try to stretch it out and put unnecessary fluff at the end of your video just to make it fit into a 15-minute slot. If it ends up being an 11-minute, 22-second video, post it. Don't worry about it. Do your video till you're finished with it. Post it. Edit it for quality, edit it for effect and for entertainment. And when you're finished with it, post it. Don't worry about anything else. If it ends up being 45 minutes, post it. Don't cut it apart if it takes away from the quality of the video. Now, I'm not saying don't edit out slow parts or parts that doesn't matter, because sometimes I go on a rant and I'll edit those out. Still do that. But when you're done editing, whatever length you end up with, that's what you post. Don't try to say, "Oh crap, it's only 7 minutes and 8 minutes and 10 seconds, whatever. It's only 8 minutes. I got to get it to 12 minutes. I got to get it to 15 minutes. Don't worry about it. Post it." That's what you do. So whatever length it ends up being, that's what it is. That's what determines your length. Your video determines your length, not a predetermined time frame. Okay. So next, I'm going to give you some strategies, a few strategies on how to get people to click. Now, I will be the first to tell you, don't get caught up on your click-through rate, your views, your subscriber count. I was for a long time. Now I'm not worried about it anymore. I try to put my content out there. I try to make sure it's watchable, something that I myself would watch. Then I post it. Sometimes I'll get less than 100 views. Sometimes I'll get 1,000. The point is, if we get caught up on those numbers, it's going to drive you nuts. It did me. It drove me nuts. I worried so much about, my click-through rate is so bad. So I'd change my thumbnail. And you should change your thumbnail if it's doing bad. And you should change your title if it's doing bad. My point is, don't get so bogged down by it that that's all you're concerned about. Make quality videos and the rest will come. How do you do that? Well, great idea. A thumbnail has to be great. The thumbnail has to portray your interest to the audience. It has to leave them wanting to click it. So you hear this term clickbait. I don't like to use that. I try not to do that myself, but you still got to make them want to click your video. If they don't click on the thumbnail, they're not going to watch it, right? They have to click it to watch it. So your thumbnail has to. The way I like to look at it is like this: does my thumbnail portray my interest in what I'm trying to tell my audience? If it betrays my interest, then they may click on it. In other words, I'm asking a question to the audience. Can you believe this? Look at what just happened. That wants you to that gets you to want to click it. Then your title has to supplement that. I would suggest never using the exact same title as your thumbnail. If you have words on your thumbnail that says something like, I tried to grow an apple tree, then your title says, I tried to grow an apple tree. Don't do that. Rather, you should say in your thumbnail, it should say, I tried to grow an apple tree. And then your title should say something like, and then this happened. So you see how they complement each other, and that's what you want. So then they click it. The first that you'll hear this all the time, your 30-second hook, your 30-second hook. What's most important? Your 30-second hook. That's true. I want to take it even a step further because I did the research on this, and I'll tell you how I did it here in a second. So you too can do it. The first 10 seconds of your video makes or breaks your video. 10 seconds, not 30, 10 seconds. Within that first 10 seconds, you have to answer or solve the curiosity of your thumbnail and your title. So in the first 10 seconds, bam, you got to give it to them. So now you've answered it and you're thinking, well, what? You've already answered the question. So back to this example. In my first 10 seconds, I'm going to show, look at the apple tree. It worked. But then before that 10 seconds is over, I'm going to show you something else. But this happened. That makes you stay around for the rest of the video. That makes you want to see what happened. He grew the tree, but something else happened because he's telling me that it did. So now they're going to stick around. How do I get them to stick around to the end? My watch time is pretty good. They say that if you have 50% retention, in other words, 50% of the people are still around after your 30-second hook, that your video is doing great. Most of my videos have a retention of 60 to 70% after the first 30 seconds. Now, it's not because I'm smart or anything. It's just because I figured it out that you have to give them cues. People want to watch your video. They didn't click on your video just to be like, I don't want to watch this, then I'm going to click. No, they click on your video because they want to watch your video. Now that they're there, you have to give them a reason to watch, and you have to give them a reason to stick around till the end. That's a hard one. A lot of people fail at that. I fail at that. So what you can do, you can give on-screen cues. Now you've already given the hook in the first 10 seconds to let them know that there's something else coming. You're a minute into the video, you show them that, bam, there it was. One of the limbs broke off that I didn't suspect, and the tree almost died. You showed them that. But now you're thinking, well, this is a 10-minute video, and we're only 1 minute in. But then you got to do what? You got to show them something else. So you say, a limb broke off. Coming up, though, I show you how to fix that. That segues into now the audience is thinking, okay, the limb broke off his tree. It nearly died, but he fixed it. How did he fix it? He's going to show me. You do that. Try to do that all through your video. That's how you get them to stick around. That's my experience of it anyway. I know you may look at my channel and say, well, how's this guy giving me advice? He has no views hardly. He's only got 400 subscribers. He's only got 41,000 watch hours. What's he? Because it took me 8.5 months to learn all of this, and I'm getting it to you right up front for free. Don't in anything. So you don't make I don't want you making mistakes I made. I honestly don't. I want every person. It is my will that every person on the planet would prosper. Nobody suffer, any poor, nothing. Unfortunately, we don't live in that world. I would love for that to be that way. So I'm giving you this for free. I want you to succeed. I want you to use this information that I so miserably failed at. Okay. All right. So what's next? I'm sorry, this is a long video. I want you to know how to do these things so that you can do it. I got faith in you. I got confidence in you. You can do it. You just have to do it. We've already talked about the thumbnail and how to put it all together. Now, there's another big thing that they talk about. Okay, what time should I upload? Well, I'll try to put some graphics of my analytics up on one of these sides over here so that you can see what I'm talking about. But they'll say, well, when should I upload? Well, that depends. Everybody's different. And I didn't know this for several months. In fact, I only learned about a month and a half ago. I learned how to do this. And I watched videos and I've seen people say things about it, but I never really clicked. Your time that you upload should depend on when your people are online, your audience. So you go into your analytics, and then once you get there, you go to the audience tab, and then you can find in there when your people are on, what days they're on, and what times they watch you, and even from where, and the age group of your audience. You have to start to know your audience. That's something I've learned as well. I recently learned who my audience really truly is so far. Okay. And I want to try to help those people. I want to try to give them information they can use. So, excuse me. At first, I would not worry about what time. I would upload videos for maybe 2 months. Okay. Or maybe when you get 20 videos under your belts, whatever. Go to your analytics, go to audience, and then you will be able to see what days they're on and at what times. I can tell you what mine are right now, and that changes too. As you build more audience, that you have to keep looking at your analytics always. Most important tool you have is your analytics. It tells you everything you need to know about your audience and everything. But right now, my audience mostly is on Sunday evening at 5 p.m., Monday evening at 5 p.m., and Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. Some on Thursdays as well. I've got about 3 or 4 days where everybody that watches my videos conglomerate on those time frames. So when I try to upload a video, I try to upload it for one of those days and those times. And I upload it an hour before. So if I want the video to release at 5, if my audience is going to be on at 5 o'clock this evening, then I will upload it and set it to release at 4 p.m. this evening, an hour before. That gives the analytics time to start kicking in. That gives YouTube algorithm time to process it, everything it needs to do before the people actually start watching it. And I know it can do it quick, but it gives it a little extra time. That's just my method. I do it an hour before. Now you hear this thing, oh, you need to upload 48 hours before. In other words, I made a video. It's ready to upload right now, but I want to publish it and set a scheduled time for 2 days in the future. I tried that. It doesn't work. It didn't make any change whatsoever in my watch time hours, my views, or my subscribers. It didn't help them. It didn't hurt them. It made literally no difference. I was uploading videos for the first 4 months. As soon as I got them done, I uploaded them. Even if it was noon, or if it was 9 a.m., or if it was 7 p.m. or 10 p.m., I published it. That did affect it. But because remember what I was telling you, my published time did affect because I didn't know when my audience was on. However, it doesn't make an effect. It didn't affect it when I published it 24. It made no difference. It made no difference I can go back to my analytics. I can see my people when they watched it, and it may have changed nothing. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it makes no difference. So don't worry about it. Find when your audience is on, what time they're on. Try to time your videos release those times, an hour before those times. Okay. That is my next advice to you. Another big thing and I still I talked about getting caught up on the numbers. Don't get caught up on the numbers. Don't worry about the numbers. The views will come, your hours will come. Here I am 9 months in, and I run my analytics almost daily for a while there. Now I've not really run the math on my numbers in a week and a half. What does that mean? What am I talking about? I'm talking about, and you'll do it, you'll say, at my current growth rate, when can I expect to be monetized? And you do the math on that and you figure it all out. Well, I did it several times and it changes every time I do it. If I have a good month and I have 60 some subscribers that month, then obviously my time frame is, it's going to be quicker. My graph is steeper. If like this month where I've got 22% less subscribers because I switched niches, my subscriber count is plateaued and I don't got as many this 28 days as I did last 28 days. So, don't worry about that. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't calculate it all up. Just do your videos, good quality videos with good quality sound, good thumbnails, and something that you can do, only you can do. Sell yourself. That's what it's about. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how to use all that I've told you so far. And I've got a couple more things to close this out after this. But up to this point, we want to use everything we've talked about so far so that the algorithm will push our videos. Because here's how it works. YouTube's algorithm, when someone starts a brand new channel, it will push that content to a small audience. And it'll keep doing that for a little while because it's trying to give your channel a chance. Now, it goes back to what I said earlier about keeping people on YouTube. This all ties in. So if that new channel isn't performing well, what's the YouTube algorithm going to do? It's going to start slowly decreasing the amount of audience it sends your videos out to. And eventually, your channel will get to where you're only getting 10 to 15 views per video. Now, if you have a channel that's been around for a while and you haven't updated in a year or so, that same thing's going to happen. So how do I use what I know now and what I've told you so far to my advantage? Make those good quality thumbnails, make those good titles, superb audio, great content, engaging content. Even if somewhat's controversial, that's okay because it's engaging, right? Those things are the start. The second thing is knowing who your audience is and what time to post the videos. Because I can tell you from my experience, the first 48 hours that your video goes live on YouTube is going to be the most important time. Now, that's not always true. My biggest video so far to date didn't take off till about 3 weeks after it was published. It didn't do nothing for the first 3 weeks hardly. So, what does that mean? Well, that simply means that it was an outlier. But most of the time, your video within the first 48 hours is going to make or break your video. And that's not always true, but a lot of times it is. And YouTube's algorithm will decide whether or not, based on the views you got on the video in the first 48 hours, the comments especially, that's engaging, right? Anytime the audience engages with you and you engage back, don't let your comments sit there for 2 or 3 days before you engage back. Engage back pretty quickly. Now, if you're asleep, obviously you can't do that, but as quick as you can. And that tells YouTube that you're engaged with the channel, you're engaged with the audience, and the audience is engaged with you. And then YouTube's algorithm will start to form a set for you, which then it will start to push your videos out to more and more and more people. And I've noticed this on my channel as well. So at first I had such a small amount of group, this doesn't come through looking at your views. This comes through looking at your click-through rate and your impressions. So impressions is the amount of time that YouTube pushes your videos out to people. If there's 2,000 impressions, that means 2,000 times it puts your thumbnail in front of people. Okay. And then from there, it decides, okay, well, there was enough engagement, there was enough watch time, there wasn't enough views. So then it'll narrow back down. So as you build more and more video library, because a lot of people say it takes 60 to 100 videos. Some people say at least 100. I'm right around the 60 some mark. And before YouTube actually really starts pushing it out to a lot of people. Most of mine get pushed out to anywhere from 4 to 10,000 people right now. That sounds like a lot, but not when your click rate, is only 3 or 4% of that. If you got a click-through rate of 4%, that's considered pretty good. But 4% of 10,000 isn't very many views, right? That you're talking 400 views. So you've got to make what you can work for you when you can. Get those videos out on time, when they matter to your audience. Make sure that you do everything you can to get you to engage with your audience. If someone makes a comment, not only reply back, but give that comment a thumbs up and reply back, right? No matter if you don't like the comment, still reply to it. That tells the algorithm that you're engaged and they are engaged with you. That is the biggest thing I wanted to say on this segment. Make sure to use that algorithm to promote your videos. And the more you do that, the broader your audience gets. The more videos you get that have a good opening, the broader your audience will get. And we know what happens there. It's a snowball downhill effect. Bigger, bigger, bigger. The bigger you get, the bigger you get. A couple more things, then I'll close this video. And if you have any questions, I would love to hear about them in the comments. I would love to hear get feedback in the comments about what you're experiencing, what your experience has been. And if you're monetized, then maybe you can provide some insight as well, okay? Don't get this mentality that, hey, I want to get monetized, but I can't let other people get monetized because it's going to take away from what I'm making. It won't. It's the same cycle. As YouTubers get big, they fall away because they don't need to make any more money. Some of them don't. Some of them keep trying to make money, but a lot of them just like, okay, I can retire now, and then new ones come in. And it's just a circle. So don't get caught up on all that. Do your videos, try to make your money, try to get your stuff out there, and then let other people do the same. If you have any advice, give it to them. So my next thing is, make videos that you want to watch. In other words, if you won't watch your video, then nobody will. And you hear a saying around, and you hear this, and this is one of the accurate ones. It's true. Nobody cares about your YouTube channel. Your family don't care. They're the first ones that won't watch. You can't hardly make your family watch your videos. It's almost like pulling teeth. They won't watch. Your friends, a lot of them won't watch. Some will, some won't. People really don't care. And I don't mean that to be mean. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just they have a life, right? So when you make your videos, you got to make videos that people want to watch. And if it's something that, if you're talking about the gravitational pull of Saturn or something, that's a very select group of people that are going to watch your videos, right? Most people ain't going to care about that. That's what I'm talking about. Make videos that will appeal to your audience, and the broader your audience, right? The broader your audience is, the more audience you have, right? That's what it's about. That's what you want. So if you have such a fine niche that it's so tiny, only 1 in 100,000 people is interested in it. That's still pretty good numbers, actually, but you get my point. You want something kind of broad. And the last thing I wanted to tell you is never give up. Nobody has ever done anything great that gave up. You don't hear, you go back and look at all the great things people have accomplished in this world. Everyone pushed through adversity. They pushed through hard times. They pushed through almost impossible times. All creeds, all colors, all religions. Everybody has faced difficulty. And the great ones that you read about push through it. That's the difference between your channel failing and your channel succeeding. You got to push forward. I, I myself have almost quit 4 times already. I'm at a point right now, I'm thinking, but we can't do that. We got to push through. A lot of people talk about Mr. Beast because he's the big guy right now. But if you go back and watch his videos, you'll see that he himself talked about quitting several times. And most people do. Don't let that stop you. You will get tired. You'll get burnt out. That's another thing that's another reason why you don't want to do so many videos per week. You will get tired. You will get burned out. And you got to push through those times. If you need to take a week off, do that. Take a week off. Then come back the following week. Push through it. Nobody has ever done anything great when they gave up. Nothing great happens when you give up. And nobody ever did. Nobody ever did anything by giving up. Sorry, I had to take a little break there. I've got this sinus thing and it's driving me nuts. So I apologize for the parts where I'm coughing and my throat's out and all these things, but I pray you look over those. But yeah, push through it all. You're going to have people, and I have had this, and it happens. But I want you to remember something. You're going to have people that gets in your comments just because they simply don't like you. They don't even know you. It ain't nothing to do with your content. They don't like you, and they're going to put bad comments in your comments. They're going to give you thumbs down. But what you got to remember is that's okay. Why is that okay? Because that still is counted as interactions. The algorithm of YouTube will look at that and say, okay, because I'm going to tell you something. Everybody talk about the YouTube algorithm. Let's sum it up right now. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know in about 5 seconds about YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm is simply designed to keep people on YouTube. They don't care. I mean, they have guidelines. You got to follow those guidelines. Like you can't threaten people and that stuff, and you shouldn't be threatening people. Come on. But they have guidelines. As long as you follow those guidelines, they don't care what your content is. They don't care if you don't like me and you get on my comments and you say crappy things about me. They look at it as interaction. This guy is promoting interactions. And interactions cause people to do what? Stay on YouTube. That's it. That's what it's about. So don't get caught up in all the rest of it. It's about keeping people on your channel, on YouTube. That's what they want. And that's who videos they would push out. So if you have some guy who dislikes every video you put out and he puts a bad comment on every video, reply to those comments. Don't say anything mean. I got caught on that once. I didn't say anything mean. I debunked the guy. He was telling total fabrications about something that I knew he was lying about just because his business was in the business of making money off people when they should be helping people. But anyway, and I got caught up in it and I debunked him and I shouldn't have done that. What I should have done was like, well, I appreciate your comments. Thank you for coming in on here. And I can see how you would think that, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you got to say, right? You can be argumentative. If it keeps people in your channel, as long as you don't threaten people, as long as you don't support anything like that, right? Keeps them on your channel. YouTube's algorithm simply wants to keep people on YouTube. They don't want them going to HBO. They don't want them going to TikTok. They don't want them going to Facebook. None of those. They want them to stay on YouTube, right? That's how they make their money. And that's a good business model, right? So you are, as you would, an affiliate of YouTube. You want to keep people on your channel, which keeps people on YouTube, and you both get paid. I mean, that's what it's about. And so that's it. And one last thing I wanted to tell you, if you want, you got people out there trying to mimic all the big guys like Mr. Beast and all these other people. They're trying to mimic their videos, and that's okay. I mean, when you start copying someone, that lets them know that they're doing something right because everybody's copying them. I would say, however, what I did, when I told you I was going to tell you this, what I did, and I did this early on, and it really, really did help me. If you want to research people and try to figure out what they're doing and how they made it, go back and look at their first videos, right? And you will see, you want to laugh. You will say, you know what? That Smith from Shenanigans guy told me this very thing would happen. And he was exactly right. You go back and watch those first videos of Mr. Beast, and you're going to find yourself scratching your head. How did he go from that to being the biggest YouTube ever? Right? How did he do that? Watch the first year of his videos. You're going to be amazed. Don't watch his last content because he's perfect. He's had several, I forget how many years now, 13 or something. He's had a lot of years to perfect his craft, right? It's a business. He worked on his business from the day one till now. And now he's got it perfected. And look at, he's reaping the rewards from that. He put it on. People want to hate on him. I don't necessarily agree with all his stuff, but I will say this about him. He worked on his channel. He worked and he worked and he worked and he worked. And now it's paying off. That's what I'm talking about. Don't give up. Look at the other channels that you admire, but go back to their very first videos and look. You'll see the mistakes that I told you about in this video. They did the same things I did, and you'll do the same things as well. That's what this video is about. To keep you from doing those things so you can have a jump start. Excuse me again. And maybe it won't take you 3 years. Maybe it won't take you 9 months. Maybe it only take you a few months because you didn't make all those mistakes. Try to make cinematic content that's entertaining and that is engaging. And I'm still trying to do that. So I hope this video helped you. If you would, leave your comments in the comments section below. Maybe we can discuss something you're having problems with. I'll be more than glad to try my best. And I'm going to make another one of these when I do get monetized. At this rate, it may be 10 years, and maybe I will be around by then. But I'll try to do another one when I do get monetized. And if I do, I'll try to tell you my growth from now to then, so that we can compare, right? And so I pray that you do good, and I want you to explode on YouTube and be the next biggest guy, the biggest gal, whatever. I want you to be good. And if you would, give a like and a comment. And if you really like my content, I don't normally do this kind of content. I'm trying to segue into something. I can do a lot of things, so I'm trying to find my niche still. So if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. And God bless you. And keep pushing through. Thank you for watching.